This is Roger with Crosscut in Tucson, Arizona. We're selling this Excursion. It is a 2004 Ford Excursion. It's a 6.0 turbo diesel. It's four-wheel drive. It's an Eddie Bauer package. Has 204,634 miles. Someone in California sold it to Give Me the VIN, which is a wholesale buying operation. They just buy thousands of cars without seeing them first, kind of like Carvana does, or did, because Carvana is about to go out of business. How do I know that? Because I watch their stock and I know what their owner is like, because I met him and he's a scumbag. So anyway, not a nice thing to say, but whatever, he is. Anyway, for some reason these guys go through this thing where they have to buy all the cars and think that they're worth more than they paid for them, and then they find out they're not. Anyhow, this vehicle, so especially on 6.0s, I always put them up on our drive-on lift, put them up in the air and go underneath them, and then pressure spray the crap out of them. I pressure sprayed the crap out of this one, thinking, you know, it's probably going to have leaks or something, because they all do, and I'll send it out to get bulletproof. Well, it turns out the next morning, bone dry, like not any seepage, nothing. Put it on the ground, opened the hood, looked at the motor. It's head studded, that's obvious, and it has the has a new, well, it has a bulletproof EGR cooler, the old round kind for the 04s, 03s and 04s, 6.0s, which means it probably dates it a little bit. It's probably a couple years old, and because it's not messy underneath and it's not leaking, I would assume, although I can't prove it, that the oil cooler was done also, because they all leak badly. On 04s with 200,000 miles, they leak. So, and it runs great, no blow by or anything. So I'm like, man, I think I would just say I can't prove that the oil cooler's been done, but I do know that the EGR cooler is a bulletproof oil EGR cooler, and that it is head studded, and that it runs great. And it's very dry underneath, okay, which is quite unusual. Almost every 6.0 is leaky or seepy or something. So eventually this one will be too, but it's not now. That was really shocking. 12 hours later, you always have like a drop or two of oil on the ground under any 6.0, unless they just had a bulletproofing done, and this one didn't have nothing. So that's great. Nice set of tires on. It's got that little ding I showed you on top of that driver fender. Could use a little touch up right here. We like to leave them alone on the paint so that they kind of speak for themselves. That way we're not covering stuff up. You know, for the same reason we don't like to change oil, because we used to get yelled at for changing oil. You're changing the oil and you're hiding things. Yeah, we want to see the original oil. You know, and then we get yelled at because we didn't change the oil. So it's just better just to leave it alone and find the sane people. Yeah, this thing's a hell of a rig. I just drove it around the block a couple times. Took down I-10 for a little bit. Not very long, but long enough to know I've driven so many 6.0s that it's crazy how many 6.0s I've driven. And I know when they're good and I know when they're bad. And this one's really good. Like it a lot. I don't have the plate on here on the back of the vehicle, because the whole back of these things are fiberglass, which is why I have the plate sitting here. It's just a pretty rig, man. I mean, just really pretty. It's hard to find them like this anymore. All right, let me fire this guy up. I'll show you some paperwork on it. Make sure the glow plugs are in. They are. Alright, miles are 204,638. 204,638. Alright, that's that. Okay, first thing I want you to see is something really good. So it was sold by Give Me the VIN, 6.0 4x4 Eddie Bauer. They give it a 3.8 auto grade. On a 200,000 mile vehicle, that's extremely high. 3.8 out of 5, so it's considered above average. Okay, there will be a link for this in our ad, by the way. There's your tires. Tires are good. Here's your auto check. Also, there will be a link to check to read this. There's your VIN. Auto check score is right in the middle, average. No title brands, obviously that matters. No accidents reported, no damage reported, no title brands in other states or anything reported. Odo checks out. Bought this in I think I bought this in Las Vegas, but it came from California. El Cajon, which is why it looks so good underneath. It's one of the driest places on the planet. Yuma, El Cajon, Gila Bend, Mojave Desert. Moved over to Santa Clarita. That's nice. Lancaster, same thing. Anyway, that'll be in the ad. You can read it. They have these cool like mats. They kind of handmade them. I don't know what this material is, but it's kind of cool for doing that. I'm gonna look into that. I like them. Did it for all 3 rows. All right. Got aftermarket airbox. There's your Ford stamp on the fender, so you know it's original. Aftermarket airbox, another thing that's very expensive. You see that pull up through the viewfinder here. Cat sticker where it belongs. Ford stamp on the passenger fender, core support. Should be another one right there. So you got the Ford stamps on all the body parts where they belong, so everything's cool there. Oh, take this off. Look at that. No blow by at all. This thing is killer. Love the way it runs. Some of them have a little bit of a halt to them. This one doesn't have any of that. I do have a seat switch order for this thing because I think it's this one. Yeah, it doesn't want to go down, so I have to replace the whole suit. This is something that's happened to all of the F250s and F350s and Excursions. Same seat switch. They're all kind of taking a crap at the same time. So at some point the driver's seat's going to do it, and just buy the $29 one on Amazon. The problem is you have to take the whole seat out. You have to unbolt them and take it out to put it in. It's a pain in the ass. About an hour to put them in. Should be a lot easier than that, but it's not. Let's see. Now, this thing was working for me. There's a DVD in it. I don't know how to operate these things. I always tell people we're not selling DVD players. It has the Minions movie in it, and it's got an aftermarket in-dash, so I'm not really sure how they correlate together, but I don't even want to try to figure it out because I'm not selling that to you. I'm selling a vehicle to you. So if you're smarter than that, than the system, that's cool. But I did see it playing, and it played really well, but I couldn't get the volume to come out. So I don't know. I don't know what's working. I don't know if there's something wrong or not, but blowing ice cold air. Perfect. That's off. Boom. Cool. Driver window, passenger window, passenger rear window, driver rear window. It's got late model mirrors on it. Those are expensive too. So they look brand new. They're about 190 bucks a piece. So someone just did that. Door locks, right? You can seat on and off, seat forward. It's interesting that the driver's seat switch is working and the passenger's isn't, because usually the driver's seat's the first to go. It gets used more, but it's supposed to show up sometime today or tomorrow, and I'll put it in. It'll be fine. That works fine. All right, tilt wheel up and down. That works great. Up in here. All right. Got a little USB plug here. Like I said, I'm the worst with this stuff, man. I'm like not to be trusted with this crap. Let's see.
Turn supply.
I have no idea. sounds. Here's your, I can hear it going and off. There's your side window, boom. And there's the other one, boom. All right, let's see, tow on and off. Let's see, put it in neutral, go to 4-wheel drive. There's 4x4 low range. The actuator is very quick, that's great. Sometimes they take forever. That's definitely granny gear. I think you could probably walk faster than this thing in low. And reverse. Got a backup camera. All right. Neutral. Now we're gonna go to 4 high. Low range goes away. Oh yeah, quite a bit quicker. And reverse. A lot quicker. All right. Now we'll go to 2-wheel drive. 4x4 goes away. Go for a ride. There's that. There's your. Let's see if. Let's see. How do we? There we go. There's the rear windshield wiper. Okay. It's got this little chingazo here. All right. What else do we need to do here? Let's go for a ride. La la la. I'm trying not to get killed today. We have a guy driving up and down the street doing 150 and he's going to kill somebody today, I think. It's not going to be me. This is a good test of vibrations. If you can see our road is suck. Gardner Lane is the worst. Right in the middle of Tucson, it's like you're in Bolivia. Unbelievable. Anyway, if you come to Tucson to drive this rig home, you have a nice vehicle to drive home, you will pay the following. You'll pay your state tax rate, whatever that is, plus our city tax of 2.7% and a $250 dock fee. If you pay by wire and ship out of state, all you're going to pay is agreed upon price and that's it. No tax, no dock fee, nothing, just the price. Once we receive that payment by wire, we will fill out the title with your name or your company's name and address. We will sign it off to you, scan it into your online file, even the envelope we mail it in, so you'll be able to see everything up front. You will have the Excursion shipped to you. Obviously the title will be in your mailbox before the shipper shows up. When the shipper shows up, you take the title and the Excursion to your local motor vehicle and get it flipped into your name and get plates. It's very simple. God, this thing runs great. I'm on a roll. The last 7 or 8 cars I've had, trucks that we've done videos of, are absolutely mechanically fantastic. I just did an 04 F-150 that was like this. It's like, almost runs too good to be true. I guess 04 was a good year. At least for these two it was. Let's see. Deposit's $500. When we have a deposit, we have a deal. Until we have a deposit, this truck will stay for sale. Excursion, sorry. So get your deposit in. Last part of every video, I say the same thing, and I will every single time. We don't have salesmen, so we don't have commissions to pay. We don't have a shop selling lattes and scones and sandwiches like they have at Precision Toyota down the street from us. We don't have a fountain out front. You know, we don't have a game room. They got that one over at BMW, I think. That's their new thing. They have to pay for all that crap, and they pay for it by pounding you on the price of a vehicle. All right. They also know because they pounded you on the price of the vehicle, if it breaks, they better fix it or they're going to get killed, right? Because you just got destroyed by them. So they charge you that much money, so that $500 to $700 out of every sale goes towards a future repair when you come in angry. Okay. We don't do that. We don't need to make the money they do, so we don't charge the amount of money they do. So in the return, we expect you to fix your vehicle. Okay. This thing is really, really, really strong running vehicle. Somebody took really good care of it very recently, did some nice things to it, but we're not Nostradamus. We do not know when this thing is going to break. There's I-10 on the other side. We're on the front edge road right now because I got that plate on the side of the truck and I don't feel like getting a ticket for having a plate on the side and not behind me. And so I'd like to be doing about 90 right now, but right up here on the right is where the cops like to hang out on the frontage road and just pick off idiots like me. Right there. He likes to sit right there and aim his little laser gun at me. So I'm not going to let him have me today. But I am going to pass this guy because it's not that fast. Anyway, The bottom line is we're not writing checks to anybody for anything on this vehicle from the second you're the owner on, okay? Now, you have no blow-by, you have a head-studded motor, you have clearly the previous owner put some serious money into it. Why would you just stop at a Bulletproof EGR cooler? I'm sure because there's no leaks that it probably did the oil cooler also. You know, I mean, it's almost, you have to make it leak-free. Now, that being said, you know, who knows how long it's been done. The round EGR coolers from Bulletproof were pretty much the only thing about 4, 5, 6 years ago. Now they sell what's called an H-core in the last 2 or 3 years. So I would assume they did the Bulletproof and probably the oil cooler and the head studding probably somewhere between 4 and 6 years ago, maybe as early as 3 years ago, because the round coolers are only $20 cheaper than the H cooler, and the H cooler is like 3% more effective. So, you know, for 20 bucks, people are buying the H. Doesn't really matter, in my opinion. If you change the fluids, it doesn't matter at all. But that's my estimate. Those are guesses, by the way. So, you know, don't, you know, I mean, take it for what you want. What we do know is it definitely has head studs, and it definitely has a Bulletproof EGR, round EGR cooler for an 03, 04 is when they made those. What they made those for. Boy, air conditioning's blowing ice cold front and rear. I know that the video works in the back. How it links up to this and how the settings here, I don't know. I always tell people, assume audio video doesn't work and go from there. That way you're not mad at me when you can't figure it out or something actually is broken, okay? All that stuff is so cheap now. I remember when you could buy this audio video systems for under $1,500. Now they're at Best Buy and they'll install them for that, you know, the whole thing, everything. So it's not that big a deal, but the minute I don't remember to tell somebody something, I get screamed at, so I don't want to get screamed at. Anyway, our videos are allowed to be 17 minutes and 38 seconds according to YouTube, and we're coming close to that, so it's just going to end at that number with me being quiet. Anyway, thank you for your time.